Adlib, from Latin ad libitum, according to pleasure, aims to define an open system based on improvisation and free association of concepts. It is an intermediated system that relates human knowledge production with the digital environment.
The project has developed by following an extensive initial research that has been collected online into the format of a digital archive as the set base of our collective knowledge of stigmergy, originally organized underneath four main topics while showing the stigmergic methodologies of collaborating as a group.
This material has been reorganized following a narrative that could define the complexity of the relation between the digital and non-digital reality and how the changes occurring with these different environments affect our social behavior.
The main content and first narrative of our project focuses on understanding how stigmergy, as a very simple organizational principle firstly observed in biological ecosystems, is translated into the human complex societal structures, and how the introduction of online digitalization forces us to become users and adapt our social behaviors to an online mediated system.
A second layer of narrative is generated by a coded script in the form of a puzzle inspired by the word search game. Keywords emerge within the randomness of the surrounding letters, linking submerging principles retraced through the displayed work. The mechanical generation represents symbolically the process of internet browsing, the initial connection with this accessing information, which engages both the human components and the non-human response to that input.
The collected material it has been then conveyed in the form of an installation, representing spatially and conceptually the complexity of the multiple layers of the subject. The use of multiple screens becomes a symbolic enactment of the gateways that are connecting us every day to this digital reality. The layering of visual material should visually overwhelm the audience in reference to the disorientating amount of information we are exposed daily when accessing the internet. The apparent chaotic rhythm of how the work is displayed wants to reproduce the time-space disconnection from the online world, a reality that is interdependent and coexists with the one we are experiencing physically. The overall result aim to communicate with the audience through two entangled narratives, navigating in between the threshold of digital and physical experiences.
Et de plonger dans la nonchalance des rêveries passagères les plus précieuses passions qui les habitaient, ils organisaient alors entre eux tout à fait des grands amours. Ces espaces qui, depuis les derniers retranchements de leur adolescence, réticents au passage à l'âge adulte, niant les pires fantasmes, plus réduisant de grotesques anecdotes, jouant les rôles de ceux qui craignaient un jour incarner, exorcisant l'apparition morbide des sentiments sincères par leur danse animée et innocente.
The last step of our process was in response to the brief of presenting the project within an exhibition space to communicate the concept of stigmergy as emerged from our research. Four lateral screens are disposed hierarchically top to bottom and left to right, with an overlapping in the middle representing the threshold in between the digital and non-digital environments. In the center, the puzzle will display the generation of the keywords, defining the stigmergic principles retraced through the exhibited works. How to experience the installation and understand the presented material will be clearly illustrated on a site through conceptual diagrams that reconstruct the logics behind the project disposition in the space.
Despite the playful presentation of the project, the absence of interaction with the audience was to remark the often passive role we have as spectators within the network of internet, calling for a more active engagement, starting by understanding how we trace our action within the complex dynamics of the digital environment through the notion of stigmergy.